Okay, we're live.
Doesn't say that on here. It says off air still.
Yeah, it should say in a minute. I've got it live up here.
It says live on mine.
There we go, live.
First broadcast, episode 1.
Fantastic.
Goonerverse, the shambles.
So, what did you think of the first half, Joel?
Thought it was good. I mean, started off, Chelsea were sort of in the ascendancy for the first sort of, 10, 15?
Mm-hmm.
And then we settled down. Yeah, we looked all right. Started closing down. It looked fine. We looked good. It looked like we had a plan. And perhaps we looked better without Ozil and Sanchez on the pitch.
Well, I thought Ramsey really stepped up today.
He was good. Yeah, he was good.
He held back when he should have, and he was pretty assertive when he went forward. That's for sure.
We hit the post, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, him and Xhaka dovetail well. When Xhaka drifts back, when Xhaka stays back, and so Ramsey can go forward, they look fine, yeah. Look good.
What are your thoughts of the second half?
Second half, yeah, it sort of died down a bit in the second half, didn't we? What was the second half? Lacazette missed the open goal, didn't he?
Yes. Did he ever?
But I think Danny Fox said that was offside. The linesman's flag was up. So maybe it doesn't matter. But yeah, that was after Ramsey hit the post, wasn't it? And he just skied it. Yeah.
I didn't see the flag go up.
I didn't see it either. You see it, Dorian?
No. Seems like I missed all of the great action, apart from all of the histrionics and fighting at the end of it. So I got the best of the game by the sound of it. No, I didn't see any of that at all. For anyone who actually watches this video at the end, I was out watching my kid play hockey during the first half. So managed to make the second half. I wandered in just as Mustafi was starting to throw his weight around. I think we looked good from what I saw. I'm going to watch the first half of the match later on tonight. I got that recorded on my Murdoch box, but yeah, I thought we were a match for them at least. And from what I've heard from everybody else that was saying on Arsblog and various other places, it seems like we had the better of them in the first half. I don't know whether that's what you guys thought.
Having the better of them, yeah, but not scoring, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, but going to the bridge, coming away with a 0-0, it's not the worst result in the world, is it?
No, listen. I'm not arguing about that. I think coming away with the point's great.
Yeah, no, can't disagree. And some other results have gone our way this weekend. Obviously, the two Manchester clubs have had big results, but certainly Spurs have dropped, and Liverpool have dropped more points against Burnley.
And the Ox still can't get a game.
Yeah.
Ox? No, he's in his natural position.
Yeah, it seems to be. Was he on for the last 20?
Oh, did he get on, did he?
I think he got on for the last 20 or something. I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, did he have splinters?
Riding the pine.
Speaking of splinters, do you think David Luiz is a lumbering telephone pole on the pitch?
No, I think he's the living embodiment of Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. Football in Europe.
He's like a giant popsicle stick on the pitch,
Absolute freak. The fact that they paid 50 million for him is baffling. I mean, I suppose he provides
for the second time.
It's weird. They sold him for like a bunch of money as well, didn't they? It is baffling, yeah. I think he meant that though when he went in there when that foul. I think he meant that. He was being a bit nasty.
He meant it. Yes, he did. Absolutely.
I thought it was just incompetence.
Well, that's part of his MO. Yeah,
Part of his charm.
But Kolasinac, when he got hit, did you see him? I mean, he really got whacked, and he was laying on the ground, and he wanted to get up. He said, let me up. And the trainer didn't want to let him up,
Yeah, well.
Is that right? So he looked like he was in pain.
Yeah, no, let me up. I want to eat him.
Like a popsicle. I don't know. He is a mixture of incompetence and spite, isn't he? Let's face it. So, and not a lot of intelligence either. I remember when he signed back for Chelsea. What was it, 2 years ago now? And he said, "Well, at least we've got Europe to look forward to this year." When people had to point out to him that they had not actually qualified for the Champions League that year. Comedy gold.
A small fact.
Absolutely. So, from what I saw of the second half today, I think, like some other people have been saying, I don't think we missed Ozil.
No, I don't think we did either.
Not really.
I think him and in Sanchez, we've got a couple of luxury players that don't necessarily fit into the team, or not in the way that Wenger's playing them anyway.
I hear a lot of people bandying about the word luxury player. You know,
yeah, well,
can't argue with that. You know,
Sanchez. I mean, look, that goal Sanchez scored on Thursday was outrageous. There's no doubt about it. But let's be clear: we were playing Cologne or Cologne or whatever I'm supposed to say these days.
Yeah.
You know, is he going to pull that out every week against every team playing in our team? It's questionable. Banged a lot of goals.
I mean, I think
true, but is he of a mind to actually play as part of the team, or is he just playing for Sanchez FC?
I think that's more the issue. Not that can he do that every week? 'Cause he probably can, given enough chances. I mean, he's our best player, isn't he? But the issue is, will he play for the team? Is he prepared to sort of just pass the ball occasionally? Jesus,
very wasteful player as well. Very, very wasteful.
Yeah.
You could say that he's trying things out, but it's not team mentality, is it? Sorry, Joel, I'll interrupt.
Do you think he's uncoachable?
It's a good question, isn't it? I think he's a very strong-headed person, and at the age of 28, is it too late for that to be trained out of him? Probably. I think, you know, if he's of a mind to do these things, amazing. But if he's not, I don't think you're going to see him play as a team player.
Yeah,
I think it was right to start him from the bench, and I think that Wenger should continue to do that. Start him from the bench until he buckles down and just like starts playing for the team instead of for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly an impact player. You can't take that away from him. But you're right. I mean, you've got to start being a playmaker too. You know, he's just one of those ball hogs that you played with when you were young. You know.
Yeah. The only time he'll pass it is if he's sure he's getting it back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I mean, he is an amazing player, obviously, as well. He's incredible. But
is that supermarket lager?
Yes. Dear supermarket lager, yeah. 22 cents a can, you can't beat it.
Does it literally just say lager on it?
What more does it need to say?
Yeah, it does actually. It just says lager, yeah.
Say booze.
No, it says sort of, it's got the brand name down the bottom, Deer or something, but it's probably San Miguel or whatever. I mean, that's how they do it, don't they? All those supermarket brands, they're just sort of.
That's 22 cents.
Yeah, probably.
Can, did you say?
22 cents.
What's that? It's about £4.50 these days, isn't it?
It's about the same. About 22 pence.
Sorry to any Brexit fans watching. Muppets, though. That's incredibly cheap. But then Spain is.
Yeah, I know.
Spain's cheap in everything apart from football. So,
yeah.
Their clothes, their food, they're all very cheap. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to pull. Are we going to pull the lever on Ozil and leave him on the bench after that? Just say off.
Oh, I think that's a bit harsh. I think that's a bit harsh for me. I think he's an amazing player, Ozil. I think he's great, but we did look better today without him on the pitch. But that's just one game, you know. He's just got to sort of. He's got to buckle down. He's got to impose himself a bit more. It's like that. Talking about Sanchez, can he do that every week because he scored a great game against Cologne? Remember that game where Özil is a European match away to some Muppets, and he flicked it over a couple of players and left a couple sliding on the floor and slotted it in. I think we won 4-3 or something like that. That was the winner.
It was Azerbaijan or something like that, wasn't it?
Some Muppets. Yeah, I can't remember. Liechtenstein or something. The kind of stuff that he needs to when he's against the Muppets, yeah, sure, he turns it on, but he needs to turn it on against the big teams. And I think he probably can.
For a man who's won the World Cup and everything else he's won in his career, he really isn't a big game player for us at all.
Incredible, isn't he? But he starts for the German national team, so he's obviously not. He obviously can play big games.
Yeah, absolutely. And was it France they were playing against a week or so ago when he absolutely turned it on? He just doesn't do it for us.
Yeah,
he just doesn't. He doesn't do it for me, guys. He really doesn't.
He looks uninterested, doesn't he? You know, he never tracks back. He never.
Well, his look is very, very uninterested. Yeah, that's he always looks like that. But his lack of tracking back, is a problem with us, I guess. Yeah, and he loses the ball too often in sort of dangerous places. I think was it Stoke he lost the ball? No, it wasn't Stoke. The game before, who did we almost lose to? The first game of the season, he lost the ball a couple of times.
Leicester.
Really dangerous positions. Leicester, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he pleads it's just not his. It's not his style of game. Well, it's a team game. It's a team game.
You got to make it your style. I mean, what is that? You know.
Yeah. Certainly, you see Thierry Henry tracking back and tackling. Wasn't his natural game.
Yeah.
So I know it's slightly different positions, but the principle's still the same.
And that's part of the reason why Ramsey played so well, I think, is because Özil wasn't inside. So Ramsey played pretty much in Özil's position, which is his best position.
You wonder whether Wenger is actually instructing people to get the ball to Özil and Sanchez as quickly as possible when they're on the pitch, because there's just such an over-reliance on them as players. You know, when in fact, if you look at, as you say, when you look at Ramsey and Xhaka paired up in midfield, when there's no Özil there, it looks much more balanced.
They did look pretty good, didn't they, those two? That was all right today. It was okay. Ramsey went forward, Xhaka stayed back. It was fine.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it looked good.
They're working those positions out a lot better than they have. I noticed a lot of times Cech scooped up the ball today, and he was looking for somebody to throw the ball out to, and there was never anybody free. You know, like I think there was far too many people playing too conservatively. You know.
Well, I can understand why. You know, I mean, I should imagine there's a couple of psychological factors going on there, isn't there? I mean, for the start, there's a couple of players missing from the team that maybe people think psychologically should be there. But then we're at the bridge. We haven't had the best of results against Chelsea, Wembley aside, over the last 5 or 6 years. You want to keep it tight. You want to keep it really, really tight. Keep it clean. Do your basics and see what happens. And that's, I think, from what I can see in the second half, that's what we did today.
Yeah, I think if you're for the goalie to release it, he's looking for his fullbacks to be bombing up the wing, isn't he? To release it to them usually, and I think they've been instructed to sit back a bit, which is fair enough. Yeah, Chelsea, you've got to be a bit more defensive, especially away from home. So yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine to be a bit more defensive minded.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
defensively, we looked much better today. Much, much better. The back three held out really nicely. Everybody played their positions, you know.
Yeah. Who's next for us?
No idea. Who's
got another Euro excursion coming up, and then somebody else.
Are we playing another Euro?
Yeah, I can't remember what our next game is. I must admit, I knew all of the first sort of 4 or 5 games, but we've come to of that with Chelsea now, and I don't know who we've got next.
Yeah, I suppose it was Chelsea was the big one, wasn't it? And now you're over that. It's like, don't even know what's next.
Maybe one of you guys can Google it whilst we're talking.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, it'd be good to know, actually. It'd be good to work out as you're going, because obviously
you can talk about Roy Hodgson while I'm doing this.
Oh, he's got a tough job on his hands.
Oh my God,
tough job.
What, Roy Hodgson?
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it too big a job for him?
Well, yeah, I guess, and just it's I mean, yeah, okay.
Really
any job really.
They needed a relegation specialist. They need like a, the walrus face, Sam Allardyce, something like that.
Yeah. Roy's more of a mid-table specialist, I guess.
Yeah,
they did do stuff with
Harry, because he's ruined Birmingham's season already. So
well, Harry's free, isn't he? That could happen.
Yeah, be back down in Poole already. So sipping macchiatos or whatever it is he has.
Yeah.
We're playing Doncaster in the EFL Cup.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
That's got fuck.
Where's Doncaster?
Exactly.
Wasn't it sold to somebody?
Doncaster.
That's the Caravan Cup.
It's a race course there, and it's also somewhere where people breed at 13. There's the man in Cornwall.
You know Stamford Bridge, the name of the ground. Do you know where that comes from?
It comes from a Danish, or it comes from a Viking word. It's Stamford. Stam is bridge in Danish, I believe.
Well, there's a brook, isn't there, nearby?
What's that?
Say again?
There's a brook nearby, Stamford Brook, if I remember rightly.
Well, I think Gerald's on the right track with the stamp thing, because Stamford Bridge it's the Battle of Stamford Bridge took place just next to York, and that's when Harold had to fight off a bunch of Vikings before marching down to do the proper battle to fight the Normans, which he then lost. So that's what it comes. There is a Stamford Bridge up there just by
and
York.
Was Stam involved in that?
Distant relatives.
Ferguson had to sell him on to Italy. Tendencies. Little one. I'm gonna drop that and name that one for Tony Prey. Anyway, we should give a couple of name checks out to people, shouldn't we? Actually, without forgetting anyone. So say hello to him. Say hello to the Darrens. Who else? Kieran. Hello, Kieran. Anyone else?
Hello, Ali. Enjoying your holiday in Thailand?
Who's that?
Ali, I don't know his full name, but Ali, the Iranian dude.
The guy he's in Thailand now.
yeah, he's on holiday in Thailand.
Oh yeah. Hopefully not up to funny business out there. So we are really everywhere though. We've got Gooners everywhere in this group. We've got people in the Lyons brothers, haven't we? Where are they? They're in all sorts of bizarre places.
One in Florida, the other in New Zealand, but I think
one in Russia, man.
One's back in London now.
As opposed to like Russia and all sorts of weird, wonderful places. So, and then who could forget our African contingent? So we've got a lot of people in Africa. Nigeria, Uganda, Sierra Leone,
Kenya.
Yeah.
Kenya and Nigeria and Uganda are big ones, aren't they?
They really are. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a huge number of Gooners down there. I think it's all down to calming.
We're racing towards 10,000 now.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it? But it's only just over a year since it got set up, Goonerverse. 10,000 people, 10,000 mad Gooners like us.
What do you think about Bellerin today? He was pretty good, no?
He owned that wing today.
Yeah, made it his.
He needs his haircut though. Shocking. It is appalling.
I think a nice Norman cut would look good on him, don't you?
anything bar what he's got right now. And he really needs to get his mum to wash that biro off his arm as well. I don't know where he's going with that look, but it's frankly, it's all Dirk Diggler as far as I'm concerned.
I'm prepared to forgive him that if he played like he did today, though, because there was a few matches back. He was really low in confidence, wasn't there? And people were slagging him off. And
well, did
he
he really want to be there? You know, the word on the street was that he wanted to go, and that he wanted to go back to Barca. I think it was a very unhappy place over the summer. I really do. I think that was probably a kick on from the end of last year, wasn't it, with Wenger and his interminable contract negotiations. But I don't know. It seems to be settling down a little bit.
He's got his pace back, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good.
Probably helps. I would have thought that that the bench warmers fucked off. Frankly, that's probably going to help with, you know, settling things down a little bit. And if they've managed to keep Sanchez a bit quiet, then probably happy days. Got a couple of extra players. Kolasinac, he's a beast. I like Lacazette. I think he's a quality purchase, but the beast is the buy of the summer for me. Well, he's not even a buy, is he? He was just free.
He's exactly what we've needed, that I've been complaining about for years.
Yeah.
Ever since we lost Vieira, we've not had a killer, and
Yeah.
we've got one now. You know.
Totally agree. Absolutely agree. He probably eats babies for dinner or something. I mean, the he's an absolute brute, and we've had such lightweight teams for so long now. We really have. As you say, it's, you know, since Vieira, we've not really had anybody with that level of fight, from what I could see. I don't think. I think Wenger really he goes for the tiki-taki ball player, you know, the skillful interplay, you know, whether it's the Rosicki's of this world or whoever else, the Ramseys, they've got clever feet, but you need the heart as well. And that's how our teams have been in the past. You know, if you go back even to the days of the 70s and 80s with that weren't performing as well as, you know, the teams that we've been fortunate to see more recently. At least a fight.
Hey.
Leslie. Hello, Leslie.
What'd you get there? A cup of tea? No. What's it?
A cup of tea, yes.
Cup of tea.
Yeah.
Cup of tea.
Bit early.
Looks like some herbal rubbish, though.
Indeed,
it's not a proper cup of tea.
It's not peach.
Is it?
says supermarket lager, man.
Yeah.
No little comic character, supermarket lager.
What's that thing from Monty Python? Well, they don't quite make tea like we do they? Referring to the Australians, of course.
I'm just Gerald. You won't know this, Gerald, but there's a comic in Britain called Viz.
Oh yes, I know.
Oh, you do know it? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And there was a character in Viz called the Brown Bottle, and he'd literally go into a phone box, drink a bottle of Newcastle Brown Ale, and come out as this pissed up anti-superhero, effectively. I think we could merge Joel's supermarket lager with that character to form some new anti-hero.
Maybe Joel can be our new anti-hero.
Joel, you could get tanked up on supermarket lager and come onto a hangout afterwards and just rant at the camera. Shout up the bins in the corner of the room or something. Oh, what was that?
Yeah, I could.
What was that little pinging noise?
That was me. That was my computer. I'm actually doing another one of these right after we're finished this.
Oh yeah, what are you doing?
something about music.
Okay.
Okay.
You really are a gregarious man of many talents.
Yeah.
I feel very.
One of your heroes died recently, didn't he, Gerald?
Who's that?
Who's that band really like?
Walter Becker, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Who was that?
Walter Becker from Steely Dan.
Yeah. Was that
Speaking of that, I saw Mick Hucknall in the stands today at Manchester on the Manchester United game, and my wife said, "Oh my God, what happened to him?"
Isn't Leslie's a big fan of his, isn't she? If I remember rightly.
Well, yeah, and I played with him for 7 years.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's just exploded.
Doesn't it look like he's been looks like he's been in a car accident now or something?
It does, doesn't it?
Really? Yeah.
What does he look like?
He's all bloated. It looks like he's been drinking for 10 months straight. You know.
Oh, maybe it has. Looks a bit like Steve Bruce, maybe sort of ballooned up.
Yeah.
But all of those 10 months of drinking have happened in the last 2 months. He's packed it all, and now just I know. Well, who am I to point fingers at people for looking like shit? But he really looks like shit.
Yeah, he does.
So there we go. Anyway, so we probably need to wrap this up very shortly because we're getting real extreme close-ups of Joel drinking supermarket lager. But
sorry, man.
No. That's Joel drinking the lager.
But
I'll push it back or something.
Next time we do this, obviously we're gonna invite somebody else from our cast of thousands to get involved, aren't we? And maybe do this on a regular basis. I'm up for doing this pretty much after every match. I don't know about you guys.
Sure.
We can also have people. We can also have people message in if we do it live too. You know, this isn't going to go out live. I'm going to edit this, so.
I get that. God, how much is going to be left once all the drivel's taken out? Particularly me. You'll have to edit all of me out. There'll probably only be 10 minutes of you guys left.
Yeah. I think we'll leave it pretty much as is.
But it'd be good to get, as I say, it'd be good to get some people in. It'd be good to get some people messaging in. Things that I'm interested in hearing about, people's memories of Arsenal. Because, you know, there's some people out there been following the Gooners for a very long time. I mean, for me, it's 40 years. Unbelievable, frankly. But there we go. You know, I've got some great memories, and I'm sure you guys have too. Whether it's your first match you went to, favourite player of all time. There's going to be a lot of Thierry Henry there, I'm sure. Or Dennis Bergkamp. But, you know, it's a rich tapestry, isn't it? And it's steeped in North London and steeped in the things that we all love, the places we love, the people that we love. It'd be good to hear some of those things.
Great. Well, so let's bring this to an end.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Enjoyed it, lads.
We'll be talking about Doncaster next.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the next Premier League game, though? Did we get that? Did you find that out?
Yeah. Just hang on a second. West Brom.
Oh, okay. Easy.
Is it at home?
I think it's at home. Yeah.
I'm calling that as 3 points then.
Yeah.
That's 3 points.
Yeah, we don't play the Europa League again until the 28th, the end of the month.
Okay.
Bate Borisov. Bate Borisov. Where's that?
I have no idea where that is. That's
one of those dark Eastern European countries.
Well, it's probably one of those places actually in Asia, but just is in the Europa League and the Champions League because no one in Asia likes them or something.
like Israel. Israel play in the European League, don't they?
Well, Australia are in the bloody Eurovision Song Contest as well. How's that work?
That is disgusting. That is wrong. They should not be allowed in that.
Yeah, and let's not say anything about Israel because we'll get into big trouble about being anti-Semitic, and that's Chelsea's territory these days, not us.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
It is a bit weird that Israel playing in European football. So, but there we go.
Did you bin that guy who made that comment today, or?
Of course I did. Yeah, well, I didn't bin him. I bin the comment.
Mm-hmm.
Watching, whatever your name was, Kevin, I think it was. No anti-Semitism or anti-Islam or any anti-religion. I think religion is a pile of shit myself, but I respect other people's rights to be, you know, doing whatever it is they do on a Friday night or a Saturday morning. Or
even if they drink 22-cent lager.
Yeah, exactly. Go and be penitent next Sunday morning before you turn up with your supermarket lager, Joel.
All right, should we wrap it up? Yeah.
That's it.
Guys,
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Take care, guys.
talk to you soon. Bye.